Ingrid, are you ready for your lesson today?
I am.
Excellent. We're going to start off with our three-part drill. Remember, I want you to say all the sounds you know for the cards.
K, J.
Oh, that one's stuck on me. There we go.
R. I. I.
Perfect.
Ft. A. Nt. O. Pt. P. X.
You're going quicker than I can even turn these today.
And V.
Excellent sounds there. We've been working on that for a while.
G. Mm. N. Ink.
Very nice.
J. Unk. Old. St. Sn. Ump. Inch.
Great job.
Full. Con.
Excellent.
Cr. D. B. Ing. Dr. T. Sk. Ol. S. And Z.
That's right. Good catch.
Miss. Sm.
Good. Now don't do the next one. I had one stuck to miss that I forgot to have you do.
Ulf. E. Qua. Y.
Great.
Hua. Dwa. Squa. Thr. Str. Ank. Ch. I.
Great. Saw you look at our picture up there. We'll do that one just one more time in a second.
Ang. In. I.
There we go. Very nice. Now, will you go ahead and grab that sand tray?
Yay.
Let's practice writing some of our sounds now. Finger up. 2 ways to spell I. Ready? Write.
Y. I.
There you go. Next one, ang.
Ang. Ang.
Lovely. 2 ways to spell j.
J. D. J.
How about 2 ways to spell sk?
Sk. Sk. U.
You.
Oh. You.
Very nice. 2 ways to spell
F.
great. Goal.
GL. Goal.
Ink.
INK. Ink.
Let's just do one more here. How about, one of our newer ones. 2 ways to spell ch.
Ooh. CH. TCH.
Very nice job. You can go ahead and set that off to the side. Now let's get ready for our blending drill. And at this point, you can just go ahead and read those words for me as you know them.
Okay.
Ready?
Gift.
Oh, even before. Lovely. How about this?
Jai.
Great.
rye, rant, wrapped, enwrapped,
Good job with that prefix there.
thopped, tho, mow, mink,
Oh, how did that get there? Let's put that at the end and do this one.
nink, snink, snunk, flunk,
Oh, don't do that. Don't.
glunk, gling, cring, cree,
Very nice.
crass,
That's where our double S belongs.
crapped, dep, deck, d, dreff, drank, skank,
Oh, another one.
lank, lang, sang, sigh, smy, quy,
Very nice. Let's just do a couple more with our open syllables.
quy, quig,
Great job alternating between open and closed.
yidge, yai, yay, whay, whald,
Nice.
dwast, dwist, dwy.
Excellent. Great job alternating between those open and closed syllables there.
Thanks.
Now let me just make sure that I clear some space for our activities. So I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay, so the new skill that we are going to learn today is one of my favorites. Have you ever heard of the Wild Old West?
Oh, yes.
Yes, and the Wild Old West is full of outlaws and rule breakers and cowboys. Well, I want you to keep that in mind because today we are going to be learning about the wild old word endings.
Cool.
So our wild old word endings are kind of like the rule breakers out in the Wild Old West because these endings that I'm going to show you, they look like they'd be a closed syllable, but they make long vowel sounds. So we have IND, IND, OLT, OLT. We might have another one, or it might have broken the rules and not come. There we go. OST, OST. OLD, old.
Old.
And one last one, ILD, ILD.
Okay.
Okay, so first, before we do our activity, let's just make sure that you know the sounds. So I'm going to say them again, and I'm going to ask you to repeat it. So we have IND,
Eind,
OLT,
olt,
OST,
ost,
old,
old,
ILD.
ild.
And you'll see that there are these little lines above the vowels on all of these cards. That's just a symbol to remind us that this is going to make the long vowel sound, even though it looks like a closed syllable. We've got our rule breakers. Okay, keeping with our Wild Old West theme, we have our cowboy hat here. You don't actually have to wear the hat. What we're going
I'll
to
wear
do,
it.
oh, you can wear the hat.
Yeah. You kidding?
What we are going to do is pretend that we are running a ranch. And a ranch, of course, out west is full of horses. So I have some of our horses. We're going to leave those face down. Now, all the different areas where the horses might be are on these cards. So we have Oast, it looks like they might be in a meadow. We have Eind, kind of looks like they're on the edge of the forest. Olt, they're down by the river. Old, they're in the barn. And Eind, they're in the stable. So what I'm going to have you do is draw a horse, and there's going to be a word on the horse, and each word is going to have one of our wild old word endings. You're going to read the word, and then you're going to have to put that horse where he would be hanging out on that ranch.
Okay.
So we've got a couple of horses for you there.
All right. First one. Gold.
Good. Where is that going to go?
That's going to go here in the old stable. Next one is grind. Grind. Oh, I-N-D in the forest. The next one is jolt. Jolt. Oh, jolt. Right there by the river. The next one is most. Most. Oh, in the field. Volt. Oh, these two are going to be together by the river. And blind. Blind. Oh, there we go. In the forest.
Excellent. Oh, we didn't have any horses in the corral.
Yeah.
They all escaped. Now they're running around. Excellent. So you did a great job reading with those new endings. I heard those long vowel sounds in all of them. Let's go ahead and get our horses out of the way. I can even let you take that if you want, and you can play with your brothers and sisters when you get home. And we're going to go through and practice each of our new sounds only once in the sand.
Okay.
So our first one is eind. You can go ahead and write it and say the sound.
Eind. I-N-D. Eind.
Excellent. Olt.
Olt. O-L-T. Olt.
Ost.
Ost. O-S-T. Ost.
Old.
Old. O-L-D. Old.
And isled.
Isled. I-L-D. Isled.
Great job. I'm going to go ahead and have you set that off to the side, but I'm going to sneak out a piece of paper because we're going to need to practice these in dictation.
Okay.
Now, we're really used to this by this point. Since these are all on one card, they're only going to get one tap when we're finger tapping. So if our word was wind, it's going to be wind. W-eind. Only 2 taps, even though how many letters is that going to end up having?
4.
4 letters, good, but 1 card, 1 tap. So why don't you go ahead and grab a pencil.
Sure.
And let's get a couple of these done. Your first word, cold.
Cold. K. Old.
Bolt.
Bolt. B-olt.
Host.
Host. H-ost.
Child.
Child. Ch-ild.
Kind.
Kind. K-eind.
Bold.
Bold. B-old.
Excellent. Now, of course, with our students, we would want to do many, many more words, but we're ready, and I'm going to have you read from that clean copy now. And what I like to do with this clean copy sometimes is use it for some extra reading practice. So I'm going to have you do the words that you wrote and some extra words to read here.
Okay.
So what I'd like you to do is please move across as you read these words.
Okay. Do you want me to start with the first line?
Yes,
Or-
and you can just practice the sounds.
Okay, sure. Child, cold, bolt, host, kind.
Great job.
Wild, bold, colt, most, find. Mild, old, dolt, post, hind.
You don't hear that one anymore.
Fold, jolt, bind. Gold, molt, mind.
Excellent.
Hold, volt, rind.
And let's just do one more row.
Mold, wind.
Excellent. Now I'm glad that you got to wind down here. Wind has our wild old word ending IND. But you also might have heard of a little word called wind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wind and wind are spelled exactly the same way.
Okay.
You read it with the long sound because you know that we're practicing these wild old word endings. And usually it is going to be that long sound, but just know if you read a word and it doesn't sound right, or maybe it doesn't make sense in the context, even though these are commonly long vowel sounds, it doesn't have to be. So if you're reading and you say, I had to go and wind my watch, and it doesn't make any sense, you can always try the other way. So know that they're usually rule breakers, but sometimes you might have to try another sound.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and grab out your pencil again, and we are going to go ahead and do a sentence or two here.
Okay.
So our first sentence is going to be, bolt the gold in the trunk. Bolt the gold in the trunk.
Bolt the gold in the trunk.
There you go.
Do you want me to pound it again, or do you want me to write it?
You can go ahead and write it unless you'd like to reinforce. Great, and we'll do one more. Do not scold that kind child. Do not scold that kind child.
Do not scold that kind child.
Very good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and I'd like you to read a clean copy of those sentences, please.
Bolt the gold in the trunk. Do not scold that kind child.
Very nice. And again, sometimes for some extra practice, I'll have students read sentences beyond what they wrote. Okay, I'm going to get these out of the way for just a moment because we are going to do some of our syllabication next. And our top part of our syllabication today is something that we've already been practicing. It's that syllabication with the VCV pattern, and we're practicing dividing it the second way. Now at the bottom we have something a little bit new, which is some syllabication with ing as a suffix, and we'll get there, but what I'd like you to do, since we've been practicing these beginning words already, will you please go ahead and say out loud the steps to me as you do this first word?
Okay. So the first thing I do is find the vowels. I'm going to mark them with a V. I'm going to draw my bridge, and I'm going to mark my consonant on the bridge. Now this is VCV. So the first way I'm going to try it is right here. And I'm going to mark this open because it ends with a vowel, and this is closed. And that would say frolic, 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 frolic. I've never heard of frolic. Have you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Sounds
so this
funny.
First one isn't going to work. So I'm going to try it after the consonant and close this up. And now it says frolic, 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 frolic. Oh, frolic, like the horses.
Yeah, I was just
They'll
thinking that.
frolic. Okay, perfect.
That's why none of them were in the corral.
There you go, they were frolicking.
Excellent. Why don't you go ahead and do this next one for me,
Okay.
the exact same way.
Okay, so I'm going to find my first two vowels. I'm going to mark them with a V. I'm going to draw my bridge, mark my consonant on the bridge, and it's VCV, so I'm going to try it here, opening that and closing that. Say-tin, Satan, Satan, Satan.
Now that is a real word, but that's
Yes.
actually not the word that we're going for here. Why don't you try moving that division line?
Gladly. There we go. Let me try it here and close that up. Sat in satin. Satin. Satin.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, satin is the word we were going for. Now, yes, Satan is a word. You would actually spell that S-A-T-A-N. So it was a word, but not quite this one.
Okay.
Now I want to go ahead and just look at one of these new words.
Sure.
And I see on this word the suffix ing. So what we want to do when we look at our words, we want to make sure that we're seeing that whole word. So right when I look at this, that jumps out at me. Did that ing kind of jump out at you?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to circle it. Go ahead, circle that ing.
Okay. That's easy.
Yes. So now we don't have to worry about that when we do the rest of the word. And you can do the beginning of this word just like you did your other words. The only thing that we're going to want to do is when we get to labeling our syllables, we're going to want to put an SUFF above our suffix. So I'll say the steps out loud and I'll have you do the writing.
Okay.
So go ahead and find and underline your first two vowels and label them with a V. Now draw your bridge. Label the consonants on the bridge. Good, we only had one, so what pattern do you see?
VCB.
Good, so we have to try it the first way. Go ahead and try that the first way. And that would mean what type of syllable is your first?
It's open.
What type is your second?
It's closed.
And what are we going to label that ing? Do you remember?
SUFF.
Great, let's try reading it. What do we have here?
Crediting. Crediting.
Sound right?
Crediting. No.
No, that's even kind of hard to say.
No.
So
Yes.
what can you do?
I can try it my second way.
Good.
I'm going to close that up. Crediting. 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 Crediting.
Fantastic.
Oh, crediting. Yeah.
That's what banks do.
Exactly.
Right now, we're going to move on to red words.
Great. Great.
So I have some review red words as well as a new red word that I'm going to teach. And the nice thing is, this is all the same stuff that we have been doing since layer 1. So I'm going to start with a reading review here. What I'd like you to do is read the word and then just arm tap it one time for me.
Okay. So do you want me to pull as
Yes, you can load an arm tap.
Okay. Very. V-E-R-Y. Very. Many. M-A-N-Y. Many. Look. L-O-O-K. Look.
Great.
Hour. O-U-R. Hour. Which. W-H-I-C-H. Which.
Fantastic. Now these are the words that you've already practiced for your reading review. So we have a couple that we're going to do for spelling. And today I'm going to say them and I'm actually going to have you write them on the paper.
Okay.
Since they're red words, if you'd like to use the red colored
Yeah.
pencil, you can grab that.
Okay, great. Perfect.
And we've just got a couple of these. Your first one is about.
And you just want me to write it?
Yep, you'll write it. Say the letters out loud as you do, just for that extra
Okay.
reinforcement.
A-B-O-U-T. About.
Wonderful. There.
Which one?
Like, good question. Like, that is their car in the parking lot.
Okay. T-H-E-I-R. There.
Wonderful. And the last one is going to be live.
Live. L-I-V-E. Live.
Wonderful. You are definitely ready to learn a new word today. So our new word for today is even.
Even.
2 is an even number. So you might have seen this one in math class. You'll also hear it in phrases sometimes. Even though it's raining, I'm still going to take my dog for a walk, which I usually do. Can you think of any sentence that would use the word even?
Sure. I'm going to try to get even with him.
That is another way we can use this
There you
word. There are lots of different meanings here. So the first thing that I would like you to do is grab one of those red screens and I will get you a sheet of paper. And if we'll find a red crayon, yes. Go ahead and make your own bumpy copy of the word and remember to say the letters as you write them.
E, V, E, N, even.
Good, why don't you trace over that one more time?
E, V, E, N, even.
Great. Now hold your word out so you can see it. We are going to arm tap 3 times. Even. E-V-E-N, even. Even. E-V-E-N, even. Even. E-V-E-N, even. Nice. Now on your bumpy copy, go ahead and trace it 3 times with your finger as you spell it out loud.
E, V, E, N, even. E, V, E, N, even. E, V, E, N, even.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and write that word on the table now. So with your finger on the table 3
Okay.
times.
E-V-E-N, even. E-V-E-N, even. E-V-E-N, even.
Great. Now you have your paper and you still have that red pencil there. Go ahead and write the word even 3 times.
E-V-E-N, even. E-V-E-N, even. E-V-E-N, even.
Excellent. Hide your red word and turn over your paper. And go ahead with a regular pencil, write the word even from memory. Yes, very nice. Let's go ahead and do a sentence now. Did the pegs look even? Did the pegs look even?
Did the pegs look even?
And you can underline your new red word in there. Very nice. And we're only going to do that one today. And I just have you read a clean copy quickly.
Sure. Which one? Oh, did the pegs look even?
Very nice. So you're going to take your red word home with you. I'm going to add that to our review deck for next time. And we are going to wrap up with just a short oral reading here. This story goes right along with those wild old words that we were studying before. And we have the wild colt. So as you can see, we're going to have a lot of those ild, old, and eind endings in there. What I'd like you to do is, can you read out loud just that first paragraph to me?
Sure. Tim has a colt at his ranch. The colt is a bit wild. If Tim runs fast, it will jolt the colt and he will bolt. Tim gets Ben to help with the not-so-mild colt. Ben is just a child, but he is bold. Ben and Tim go up to the colt. Tim gets a hold on him